effort to get away from storing my mixes in mason jars because the light destroys everything in there. I got these bags. They're reusable and they're kind of opaque, and I can keep them in the pantry without anything getting into them. So this is oatmeal cookie mix, and I love this particular recipe. I think I did a video on it, and I'll link it. But basically, it's one of those oatmeal cookies in a jar. So I just put all the ingredients in here instead, and I'm going to be using, going to be adding some of my pumpkin puree to this today, as an egg replacer. So let's see how that goes. So I'm going to put that in here. I'm not going to bake all the cookies. I'm going to make a tray of cookies, and the rest of the cookies I am going to put in little 1 and 2 cup sizes in the freezer. So if I want some cookies, I can just bake them up. My first order of business is just to mix this really well. I believe I did mix it before I put it in the bag there, but it's always good to do it again. I don't want, things like baking powder or baking soda or salt or whatever get isolated in one place, because that really tastes bad if you happen to take a bite. One thing I do when I store this cookie mixes is that I also store the original recipe and the baking instructions inside a little bag here like this, so it doesn't get dirty or wrecked. So I'm looking here, and it says 1 jar or 1 portion or whatever oatmeal cookie mix, 3/4 cup butter or margarine, softened 2 eggs, slightly beaten, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 tablespoon water. All right, I'm going to go get the butter or margarine, and instead of the eggs, we're going to be using the pumpkin puree, so I'll get that. All right, according to the internet, each egg replaced is 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. So this was 2 eggs, so I have 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree. I'm going to put it right in there, and you can use applesauce. There's all sorts of things you can use as an egg replacer. Get that out of there. All right, there's my 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree, which is translates into 2 eggs. I have softened some margarine here. I do it at 10-second intervals, otherwise it gets soft too fast. So I'm going to put that in there like that. A little bit of vanilla. It says a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to get a tablespoon of water. And here's the tablespoon of water. I'm going to go ahead now and start mixing. So far, so good. The batter tastes good. It mixed up well. It smells normal. Smells good. The only difference I can tell is this dough is not as watery, I guess, or as liquid as when you add eggs. And I guess you could add more water to it, but I'm just going to try it like this. I have preheated the oven to 375 as per the directions on the cookie mix, and I'm going to put these in just like they are. Usually I add nuts and cranberries, and I will for the next round, but this time I just want to see how they are by themselves. You can add chocolate chip, all sorts of stuff. I've added coconut and nuts and cranberries and raisins and pretty much whatever I've had around the house, just to make it more granola bar like, I guess. I'm going to make, I think, 12 cookies here, and like I say, the rest I'll freeze. Then I can make fresh cookies whenever I feel like it. Okay, maybe I just got 9 on there. 9's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the 375 oven, and we'll see what happens. Well, here they are. They came out fine. They rose really nicely and are nice and high and fluffy. Bottoms are done. So I'm going to let these cool, and we'll give them a try in a little bit. The rest of the cookie dough I am going to freeze. I have one of these freezer blocks. They're silicone. So once these 3 1-cup portions have frozen in the freezer, I can just pop them out and store them in these nice blocks and just have cookies whenever I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on that and put that in the freezer. Well, let's break one of these open. nicely baked inside, perfectly baked, still a little warm, but I do want to give them a try. I'm here to tell you those cookies came out really good. I made them last night and I had some again this morning. They were absolutely delicious. Just light, fluffy, baked through. I wasn't sure what to expect. You do not taste the pumpkin in there. However, if you wanted to, you could add some pumpkin spice to the dry mix. There was already cinnamon in there. It already put the sweeteners or whatever in the dry mix, but you could certainly add some more to kind of play that up. I divided them into 1 cup dough servings as I showed in the video, and as I take them out I can add cranberries or pecans or other things, chocolate chips, as I want to. Anyway, this was a great little tip or a hint, I think, to be able to use pumpkin instead of eggs, at least for this particular use. With the price of eggs and the price of everything else, it's kind of nice to have an alternative that works. So anyway, thank you for joining me in this experiment, and thank you so much for watching.